to change utilization patterns. So again, I think that that is one of the issues that other states have struggled with, and I believe the federal government has struggled with as well. They have taken a very marginal approach, and they are talking of, in many respects, those models do not allow enough of a reward to those providers for getting the care right. It is also designed to generate the premium tax as the non-federal share, so general revenue funds would not be would not increase, and in fact, the premium tax would draw down additional federal funds that could be used for a variety of different purposes in the Medicaid program. And will phase in the risk over time. This is not a model that everyone would be ready to jump into immediately and take full risk. So again, we envision this being phased in over a several-year period of time, and who accepts risk as well. Next slide, please. The administrative simplification of this, and again, many models have become extremely complex and are kind of missing the boat in my estimation of becoming overly complicated. We envision that it would be a single global payment that would be made that would cover both the benefits and the administrative costs and the care management costs all down the line. We don't see this as being, negotiating many different separate pieces. We want one global payment that we really would be focused on. Using a certification process, and what I mean by that is DHS, and to part of the Senator's question, we would define a certification process. What does it mean to be an RCCO, a RICO? What the requirements have to be met to be identified as one, to be certified as one, versus a competitive process where, again, which would lengthen the period of time, in my estimation, if we went through a full-blown request for proposal process. We believe this is a much simpler, cleaner approach. And again, the departments, the two state agencies would exercise their respective roles. The regional coordinated care organizations really are the backbone of the model. These are locally, regionally based organizations, as I said, that truly would become accountable for the delivery of care, carrying out individual care plans, coordinating care among individual providers, linked to provide access to specialty care, and a large portion, and a very important component of that, is to be able to share information and data about that individual. And as I mentioned, accepting risk over time. The RICOs then, in turn, and again, I think that the number of these will be relatively small, spread throughout the state. We hope and believe that it would become statewide. But the RICOs themselves then would choose their administrative agency to process claims and track performance measures and incentives, etc. Again, one of the common themes of all of these other models that I mentioned in other states is the accountability for demonstrating outcomes for individuals. Again, this is not just process, it is not just a reporting requirement, but there are actual performance requirements that would need to be met and would be linked then to financial gains for the organization and the individual members and the providers. The other portion of this are what I'd be calling APCOs, Arkansas Provider-Led Coordinating Care Organization. That organization, again, would be an umbrella organization, would have to meet criteria that is spelled out. and as I said, accountable to both DHS and insurance. The majority of representation of an APCO would be owned by the providers themselves. Again, I think this is a critical point to this, to the tradition of Arkansas to understand that the providers themselves are going to be the majority owners of this organization, not some external group. We would spell out governance board representation, that providers, beneficiaries, consumer advocates would all need to be represented on the board. And as I said, the APCO would then do the centralized administrative functions that you see in any organization.